Namaskar.
Namaskar, Puneet.
Hello, Mr. Chauhan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Roses are red, violets are blue. Hello, Mr. Chauhan. How are you?
Excellent. Good to see you, and I look forward to our historical episode program involving the Hindu women.
Yes. So, welcome to my show, Valor and Wisdom. Today, I'm going to tell you about one more untold history of valor and a sacrifice of a woman, a wife, and a daughter. So, in our culture, Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, we consider women as a form of worship. So, in Sanskrit, we define woman in a certain way. So there is one slok in Sanskrit. So first I will tell in Sanskrit and later I will translate it. So it's like Nistra Ratam Sama Ratanaham. It means there is no jewel like a woman. So today I'm going to tell you about the story of a queen Hadi Rani. So who is Hadi Rani? Hadi Rani is the daughter of the Hada Chauhan dynasty. And Hadi Rani was so beautiful that every king wants to marry her. But during 16th century, Ratan Singh married to Hadi Rani. Not even after the long wedding, Ratan Singh got a message that the Mughals and Aurangzeb army were coming from Delhi to destroy them. And Ratan Singh was instructed to stop the Mughals forces. On the other hand, Hadi Rani Mandi hadn't even died, and when she got this information that Ratan Singh went to the war, she became truly concerned. Despite know that Ratan Singh loved Hadi Rani so much that he wouldn't want to stay away for a single moment of time. In such situation, the fearless queen Hadi Rani prepared her husband Ratan Singh to go to the war and send them away wishing for her victory. After Ratan Singh traveled from his palace with his army, but his mind is still on Queen. In the midst of the fierce battle against the Mughals, Ratan Singh sent a message to his wife asking for a souvenir, and the messenger conveyed this message to the Queen, and which Hadi Rani felt very concerned. She became really emotional when she get to know that her husband, his mind is focused on her queen, not in the battle. So as the Rajput woman, what Hadi Rani did is something amazing. So the Hadi Rani ordered the messenger and informed every maid over there that this is her last and final message. So what she did, she conveyed the message to the messenger and told him that informed the Ratan Singh that you went to the war to fight against the Mughals, to protect the motherland, to protect the women. So what she did, she uttered the word of Lord Jai Durga and took out the sword, and one powerful strike, Hadi Rani struck her head off. Everyone was shocked. The messenger was shocked. The maid was shocked. Hadi Rani had Hadi Rani chopped off his own head. The maid immediately put the bleedy head of Hadi Rani on the salwar, cover it with the red cloth, and give it to the messenger. The messenger went to the war and informed the Ratan Singh about the valor and sacrifice of Hadi Rani. Ratan Singh got very emotional, but he realized about his mistake. He remembered that when a Rajput went to the war, his dharma is only to fight against all those invaders to protect the motherland and the women. So what Ratan Singh did, he tied her head to his neck, wear it like an amulet, and descended upon the Mughals like an Indra descended upon all the evil forces. Ratan Singh promised to entire India, even to his entire Rajput army, that today none of the Mughals will cross this army. and he promised and he lived to his words. Ratan Singh and his army decimated all the Mughal forces. Ratan Singh's army decimated the entire Aurangzeb army. The motherland was saved. Ratan Singh enabled his victory against the Aurangzeb, and Mughals was so badly humiliated in that battle that he never dared to attack on Raj Singh. On that battle, Ratan Singh awarded as a martyrdom. He reunites with his wife and the god. So this is the valor of a Hadi Rani, a sacrifice. And to every husband around the world, whoever thinks that what woman can sacrifice for you, you cannot even imagine. A woman Dharma is something which is beyond all the humans. A woman is that only person which can create a palace for you. So to every husband around the world, I'm going to give you one more strong message, is that the husband and wife think the best companion in the world is their children, which is wrong. For a husband, a best companion is her wife. And for her wife, the best companion is her husband. So respect your wife, love your wife. Don't do anything against your wife, because your wife is a form of a goddess. So this is the story of a Hadi Rani and the sacrifice of all the Rajputani women who never surrendered their head in front of the Mughals. They all committed suicide. So this is the story of valor and sacrifice of a Hadi Rani. So Mr. Chauhan, what do you think about this part of history?
Excellent, Puneet. Wonderful history. For I was born in Dar es Salaam in East Africa, and of course you know that I wrote this novel, Love in the Empire, which is a historical novel to explain actually the interaction of how the British Empire affected the Indian subcontinent and the culture of India. And it would be difficult for a Western person to understand the deep sense of loyalty of the Indian Hindu women to their husbands. So this story of Hadi Rani, who had just married Ratan Singh, and then he was facing the war with Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was a Mughal. So a lot of the wars were very common between the Hindu princes and the Mughals in that time period. So in the Mughal kind of religion, it was they could marry more than one wife. The position of the woman was very different in Hinduism. In Hinduism, especially the Rajput community, the expectation of loyalty was a huge expectation. So the husband-wife relationship that you described was fundamental. So when he went to war and the Hindu husband felt that he could die, his biggest worry was that his wife would be raped by the conqueror, as it has happened in European societies as well. If you look at the Second World War, about 2 million German women on the Eastern Front near Berlin were raped by the Russian soldiers who were advancing on the eastern side of Berlin in 1945. So just for the Western audience to understand actually that in the Rajput women were always worried actually, and the duty of the prince Hadi, in this case the Ratan Singh, was that he had to protect the women, because if the women, and he lost, the women would be raped. So I think if Ratan Singh's dilemma in facing the Aurangzeb, was the Mughal king fighting the Hindu king, was that what would happen to his wife, she did not want that conflict in his mind in fighting. So she chopped her own head off and had the courage to do so. And it's important that the people understand that it may look grotesque to many Western people, but it was very common actually that if the Mughal king invaded, and he would put Indian Rajput defeated women into his harem actually, and they didn't want it. So the sati practice of the sacrifice of the woman after the death of the husband was a common thing that developed in the Hindu religion, resulting from some of the wars that happened between Hindus and Muslims for quite a few hundred years. So the expectation of the Indian husband or the Rajput husband was that the wife would have 100% loyalty. So just tell you how it reacted in my mind, that when I met an English woman that I wanted to marry, the biggest question in my mind was that how loyal would the English woman be to me, because in the Hindu religion the loyalty of the wife is paramount. But I did marry the woman. I have 2 children, and we've married now for 50 years. She's English white and I'm Indian brown, but we had a wonderful family, and we're still married, and we live in Richmond Hill, Canada. So read my novel Love in the Empire, and you see my perspective of my integration in the Western world and how it happened. So it was a remarkable story. I enjoyed the story, and I hope all the audiences, especially Indian people, realize that we have this strong sense of loyalty from the women, but also my wife displayed, actually, I knew her for 6 years, that she displayed a very strong sense of loyalty, which I think I had an Indian girlfriend, and she did not have the same sense of loyalty, and I preferred then to get married to the English woman. Actually, that's what happened. Read the novel.
Yeah, sure, John. And there's a strong message which I'm going to tell to every man around the world. Mr. Chauhan, I met many men, okay? I met many men around the world. And most of the men think that women are weak. So I'm going to give you one assignment. Just do it. Just go to the grocery store and hold items on your both hands. Let's see how many minutes you can hold that item. And I can tell you how many minutes. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour. That's it. But a woman, she holds a baby for 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now just imagine the valor and the power of a woman. If a woman can hold a baby for 9 months, just imagine. If you give her the sword, she can use that sword very easily and very calmly. So this is the message to every man around the world. And love your wife till the last breath, because your wife is the best option for you. That's all I want to say, Mr. John. Namaskar.
Namaskar. I just want to say quickly, actually, that I think in the way the Indian women have been portrayed in the West is very pathetic, actually. They have underestimated what Indian women can do.
Yes.
And I think that what they've achieved, even in the modern times, in science and medicine and all the other endeavors of achievement, I think that the impression given of the Western women is extremely wrong. So their achievement is remarkable. And I think all the Indian women watching, they should recognize that their image had to be changed around the world, actually. And so that is the reason why in my mentorship group there are more women, not just Indian, but other women. And I think that they have not had an equal opportunity, in my view, in history of all the world, to be equal and to assert their abilities in the development of the world culture. So thank you. Namaskar. We'll see you.
Namaskar, yeah. And Mr. One more thing. So that's why there is one British guy, Macaulay. He was shocked when he came to India. Why? Because in European side, when the women are killing for like a witch hunting, and in some countries where women are sell, in India, women are worshipped. That's why Macaulay was shocked. Like, what happened is, what are going over in India? A woman take the decision in India. Okay, Sujan. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Take care.
See you.